Malik, thanks, and good evening, everyone. A Friday night at Madison Square Garden. Celtics and Knicks resuming this Eastern Conference semifinal series. Second straight game that these Knicks fans hope their team and keep their season alive. As we welcome you to NBA Courtside, presented by Pronamel. Final weekend of the second round. Indiana, Minnesota waiting for their next opponent. The four other teams still to play the biggest games of their season. And good evening, everyone.
In attack mode from the opening tip. For the first time in the series, the primary matchup for him defensively was the Knicks' best player, Jalen Brunson. We know this about Jalen. He is a dogged competitor, tireless, fights over screens, contests shots, and sets the tone with his leadership and aggression. And if you need him to lay out, to come up with a possession, he will do exactly that. And he got downhill offensively to the tune of a career-high 12 assists.
There. Well, they have two outstanding leaders in Jalen Brunson, Karl-Anthony Towns. They bring in Karl-Anthony Towns, an all-NBA player, for this moment. And these two players, it starts and stops with them. But the people that have to follow them, it has to be Mikal Bridges, who they brought in. It has to be OG Anunoby, who they re-signed. And it has to be Josh Hart. Those are the leaders.
By Chipotle, Doris.
So let's talk about the Knicks defense. Pick and roll action. OG Anunoby going to challenge the shot. Little rear view contest. The most important thing that's happening right now is New York is playing off some misses. I love Mikal running to the corner. OG a factor right now.
Yeah, this is the pace that they have to play with. You see the block. You see the transition. They're moving the ball. They're playing with energy. And even here, Mikal Bridges off to a great start. 3 for 4 to start this game.
And we'll take a timeout. Not a lot of good shooting, but some strong defense. Point shooting team all regular season. Then in the series, the first two games, disaster as they lost 2 home games. But since then, the Celtics have turned it around and have shot the three ball 60 for 137, 44%, 31 more than the Knicks over those 3 games.
No, this team and the way they play, the way they're aggressive, you're starting to see them. They're searching out the mismatches. You have to give him some space if you're Karl-Anthony Towns. Brown knows that, so he steps into the shot with confidence. And then even here, Porzingis, he hasn't shot the ball well, but the reason why that trail is so important is because he won't have a contest.
Mike, this is the best sequence early for Kristaps Porzingis in this series.
And that will end the first here at Game 6. Knicks trying to bounce back from a loss in Boston and end the series tonight, but Jaylen Brown doing everything he can. Number 7 trying to force a Game 7.
First day, Mitchell was healthy enough and conditioned enough to play. Well, he's conditioned now, and he is every bit a monster on the defensive end of the floor. He had to cover so much ground on that defensive possession. Disciplined enough to come up with a steal. That is big time.
And I want you to watch Drew Holiday. He knows that right hand. Karl-Anthony Towns lifts it in, brings it back to the left side. Still uses the right hand, though, and the crowd is loving it.
The 2 Knick Bigs having a big impact. The watch party right next door to Madison Square Garden. Mitchell Robinson, as Doris said, didn't play a lot early on. It's been the Knicks. Here's the play. Take a shot from Brown. Refs will take a look at that. For the Knicks to dominate.
Brunson has been outstanding. This is why you help get your guys off early. This is one of the easiest shots that he's had, one-on-one. Knocks it down.
About the three with the Boston Celtics. Struggled, losing the first two. And here tonight, struggling once again. Just 3 of 17 after shooting it so beautifully in Game 5 at home.
They have so many players that are 3-and-D in that volume. But analytics actually...
4 different Knicks in double figures, led by Karl Anthony Towns. Right now, the Garden is gleeful. Knicks trying to close out this series and advance to the conference finals for the first time in 25 years. Long way to go. Halftime in Game 6. Knicks up big.
The NBA Conference semifinals on ESPN are delivered by Chipotle. Real ingredients, real flavor, Chipotle, for real. And in part by Google, proud sponsor of the NBA. And Doritos, for the bold.
Welcome back to the NBA playoffs presented by Google. Conference semifinals delivered by Chipotle. A nightmare first half for the Boston Celtics here in Game 6. And a powerful performance from the New York Knicks as they try and end the series tonight. Richard Jefferson, it was an absolute offensive explosion.
It was an offensive explosion. We haven't quite seen this from Knicks, but look at this. Not playing in space. That's what they're able to do. Always look out for the inbounder. Then here, you got 3 on the ball. Brunson has made this all season long. Get your teammates going. Mikal Bridges knocks down a 3. And then again here, just the inside. Josh Hart able to hit that screen and roll. It's been impressive to watch these extra passes and extra plays.
Boy, this has been 43. Coming off getting blown out in Game 5 in Boston right from the opening tip. Knicks trying to take care of business tonight here at Madison Square Garden.
ESPN Bet Sportsbook has you covered all playoffs long. Keep up with big-time matchups. Get daily profit.
Win that challenge. It's their second challenge. They won the earlier one. Terrific defense from Mikal Bridges, who's having an excellent all-around game. Knicks right now here in Game 6, just unstoppable. Pure joy here at Madison Square Garden. Knicks right now on their way to the conference finals. A shocking domination. Western Conference Finals to face Minnesota. Countdown crew tips off our coverage at 3 Eastern. Tip off shortly after 3:30.
All right.
The NBA Conference semifinals on ESPN are delivered by Chipotle. Real ingredients, real flavor. Chipotle, for real.
Part of the turnaround. So now 3 of the 4 are in the conference finals. We'll find out on Sunday. Will it be Oklahoma City or Denver facing the Minnesota Timberwolves? Knicks and Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals. That's going to start next Wednesday. Knicks will have home court advantage. And this is back when the Knicks were able to get into the conference finals. The head coach, Jeff Van Gundy, with a proud fist pump. Chris Dudley, Larry Johnson, John Wallace, some of the Knicks. So the Knicks with a dominant blowout victory and defeat the Celtics in 6 games. Final score 119-81. Join us on ABC Sunday afternoon. Game 7 between the Nuggets and the Thunder in Oklahoma City for the right to face Minnesota in the Western Conference Finals. For our producer Tim Corrigan, director Mike Schwab, our outstanding ESPN crew, of course for Doris, Richard, and Lisa, Mike Green saying good night from New York City. Let's go to SportsCenter.